Hey guys, me again. I'm back for another video. So this week I decided that I'm going to change it up a bit, try something new, and I'm gonna rank 10-ish of the shows I watched as a child in the like tiered way that's popular at the moment. I watched a couple videos of other people doing it and they do it where they like screen record whilst they do it on their laptop. I have no idea how to do that, so we're gonna wing it, figure it out as we go along. I'm sure I'll learn if I do this again. I was inspired to do this video because while I was babysitting the other day, I made a Phineas and Ferb reference to my youngest nephew and he didn't understand it properly. He has watched Phineas and Ferb before. I've made sure of it, but then also did ask to watch it whilst I was there on Disney+. So that's why I'm gonna do it. And the tier ranking names I'm gonna use is GOAT, Good Times All Around, Nostalgia Wins Here, Acceptable Viewing, I Was Home From School and This Was All That Was On, and Trash But Still Watched. So, just a disclaimer, because I feel like I need to say this, I had Sky as a child, so I wasn't just limited to CBBC with my TV watching, so it'll be like a mix of channels. Here we go! So I thought like I'd just start off strong with Phineas and Ferb because I've already mentioned it. So no questions asked, this is going in straight in GOAT. I was obsessed. That theme song is firmly implanted in my brain. It's constantly there. There's 104 days. Do you know what though, as well? This show actually made me like quite creative as a kid and like wanted to invent things and everything. That didn't work out very well for me though in the end, because it turned out I was not very good at science or maths at school. So it is what it is. Starting off strong with GOAT. My next one, sticking with Disney for right now, is Wizards of Waverly Place. So I have to say, okay, I started rewatching this again when Disney Plus first came out, and it was a lot better in my memories. I don't know if that was because I was a kid and didn't really have a like wide range of what I was watching. I hadn't been exposed to a variety of TV yet. Although at that point my parents were letting me watch NCIS, so I don't know what that adds to the mix. But I think for this one it's gonna have to go in Nostalgia Wins Here. Although I do have to mention, I feel like my personality was quite influenced by Alex Russo. So she adds some points in my heart, you know? This next one's a Nickelodeon one. So Icarly. Right off the bat, I have to say, I don't think I ever watched the ending of that. Like, I don't really know how the show ends. I'm aware her dad comes back because he was in the military, but I don't know any of the context or any of that. And I think with Icarly, it's on a similar vein to Wizards, but I don't feel as emotionally attached to Icarly, other than like the One Direction episode. I mean, that was iconic, but past that I think I'm just gonna put Icarly in Acceptable Viewing. Did it have a cultural impact? It might have. It might have. Would I have considered starting a YouTube without Icarly? Maybe not, but I think it's gonna have to go in Acceptable Viewing. You know? Acceptable Viewing with a question mark. We're on to the classic, the iconic. Okay, I've got to say, disclaimer, I have lumped these two together. The Story of Tracy Beaker / Tracy Beaker Returns. And I have put them together, even though they're definitely not the same, they're on two different levels, but because while I did watch The Story of Tracy Beaker, I was a lot younger, so I think Tracy Beaker Returns holds more space in my memories, because I was like 9, 10 when that came out, and like that's a lot like closer Like that wasn't very long, that was 10 years ago. Relatively, in terms of the two shows, that wasn't that long ago. But I feel quite good putting them both in Good Times All Round, because The Story Of was iconic. And then Tracy Beaker Returns was just a staple on my Friday evening TV watching back in the day. So, like, I'm quite comfortable that they're Good Times All Round. Avatar: The Last Airbender, okay? Go. Don't even need to think about it. This show had such an impact on me as a child, and like, I've rewatched it a couple of times since being a child. Like, I started rewatching it again at uni, and it hits the same every single time. They don't make them like that anymore. They don't. It was on Netflix, and that's how I was rewatching it, okay? It's back on Netflix now, but they took it off and I was so upset, I bought the box set. DVD box set on my bookshelf over there. I mean, like, Zuko is on my phone case. I have Funko Pops. I have Aang and Momo. They're together in one. I have Appa. I've got 2 different Zuko's because one's got long hair and one's got short hair. I've got a Sokka on the way. I'm hoping to get Katara and Toph. I mean, I don't think I'll ever not love this show. It'll be a sad day if I stop. Next up, I feel like some of these shows were like just staple of my, like, a lot of kids my age who had access to Disney Channel. Sorry at the people that didn't. It's Hanna Montana, okay? So I'm gonna put this one in nostalgia wins here, along with Wizards, mostly because, again, I started rewatching it and the start of it is very cringy. I do remember, I think it gets better, but I think that's just because, like, Miley grew up. Like, so the acting got better. I don't know, but very cringy to start with. But I think it's just cringy all around. It's just one of those shows, quite cringy. But it is also saved by the fact that there were some bangers in there. And Hanna Montana the movie is an absolute classic. Oh my gosh, I will watch that film at the drop of the hat. The second I'm like, oh, I fancy watching the Hanna Montana movie, it's on. It is on. The next TV show is Zoe 101. Now, my brother is convinced I might be a bit too young to remember it, and I have to say I might agree. I don't have any memories of the actual plot, but like, I have random episodes in my brain, and I do quite a lot just to get the rejected, you just got rejected, R-E-J-E-C-T-E-D. That song, up there. Yeah, I was too young to appreciate it. Do you know what, it gets a lot of bad press, I have to say. But I think that's because of Jamie Spears. But because I didn't appreciate it, I'm putting it in trash but still watched. I feel like that's a bit of a savage title because I don't know if it was trash. It's just, I don't remember it very well. And I don't think I would go, oh yeah, I'm gonna rewatch that, you know? The Sarah Jane Adventures. Wow. Okay, Sarah Jane Adventures is on par with Doctor Who. So of course it's GOAT. I know it's a spin-off, but it was phenomenal. For it being a children's spin-off of Doctor Who, there was definitely some moments that were more terrifying than Doctor Who. There's I can't actually remember the context, but the lady that in the black coat with the, like, no face, I hate it. I still remember it, still traumatized by it. The entirety of the clown episode, I was so uncomfortable the entire time. The entire time. Oh, I'm like, even just thinking about it, I'm just a bit like, ugh. I might rewatch the Sarah Jane Adventures. I think it's on iPlayer. Okay. Fairly Odd Parents. Another Nickelodeon cartoon classic. Do you know what? I think there's just something about cartoons because they never miss. I'm yet to watch like a cartoon that I really don't like. With this one specifically though, I do just remember it being like the perfect amount of chaotic and the story actually being quite good. Because I feel like the cartoon genre is one that you can do whatever you want with, but I remember I really appreciate it. I occasionally get the, my shiny teeth and me, do, do, do. That song stuck in my head, and I can't quite look at anything that's like pink and green without immediately thinking of Cosmo and Wanda. So I think that's quite an impact on me. So for that, I'm gonna put it in Good Times All Round. CBBC, do you know what? They served some good shows. Horrible Histories, is there any doubt that this is going straight into GOAT? The songs, the vibes, the stories, the characters. A talking rat. I used to have the magazines for the show. I had like cards that some of them were like scratch and sniff. It was a show that influenced me, okay? Would I have done GCSE history without Horrible Histories? Probably not. What more is there to say? Just GOAT. Okay, so I haven't met a lot of people that remember this show, okay? It's called The Replacements. It was on Disney. Sometimes I'm convinced I made it up. I didn't, I googled it, it does exist. But again, no one else really knows what, like no one else remembers it. And I actually couldn't tell you a single thing about the plot. It was something to do with the adults were replacement parents and they were really cool. Were they spies? I think they might have been spies. I'm not sure. I really don't know. So I think I'm gonna put it, I was home from school and it's the only thing that was on, because I feel like that's where it belongs, because I feel it's one of those obscure shows that you wouldn't have watched unless you were at home at a weird time. Like one that was only on at like 11 AM or like 11 PM, you know? My final one for this video is MI High, okay? What a show. I loved this show. It was just something else, and I had such a crush on Blaine in the first few seasons, and all the characters all changed. They changed 3 times, I think, and in the last group as well, there was the blonde one, can't remember his name. I very appreciated him as well. Anyway, I was showing this to someone for some reason. I want to say it was in my first year at uni. Can't remember the context of the conversation, can't remember why. And this is another one that I have to say it was definitely better watching as a child, because watching it now, I now have so many questions. There's some plot holes that I would like filling and answers to. So I think I'm gonna have to plonk this one in Nostalgia Wins here. I mean, it's defo a good show to remember, just not a good one to rewatch as an adult, I think. But I feel like that can be said of any show. So that's all the shows I'm gonna rank in this video. There's definitely scope for me to do a second one, like adding on, because I had to take shows out of my list because I didn't want it to be too long. So I have more. So this might become a series. And there's like more I can do with this. But also I was thinking, this might be something I could do on a stream, on a Twitch stream. I do actually have an account on Twitch. What is my name? I want to say it's GG_Parky. I think that's it. I'm gonna look, I'm checking. Who am I? Oh no, there's no underscore. It's GG Parky. Yeah, I'm gonna try streaming at some point in the next month. It's genuinely just relying on me sorting this room out, which I am like 90% done. This week I cracked on, okay? It's not actually a tip anymore. But yeah, so there's scope for me to do more with this. There's scope for me to go on stream and try ranking other things. Tell me if that's something you would do, would watch, and that can be collaborative because you could talk to me. Oh my gosh, that'd be so fun. Okay, that's me done. So I'm gonna leave you, love you and leave you. See you in the next one. I think my final I think, Neil walking around. Odd parents, fairly odd parents.